So you want to know how to unfuck your mind so that hard things become easy. Look, I'm not going to tell you some fluffy self-help BS about positive affirmations or just believing in yourself harder, because let's face it, that shit doesn't do anything to help you. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how to rewire your brain so that the things that you feel impossible right now become second nature. And the reason I know this works is because I've done it myself, and I've helped hundreds of other people transform their lives using these same principles. Look, if it's the first time we meet, my name is Fred, and I've used these things to make thousands of dollars a day in profit with my online business, selling digital products, only really working a few hours a day while traveling the world. And I come from a low middle class background. The first thing you need to understand is that you need to reframe hardship completely. Hard doesn't mean bad. Hard means growth. Just think about it. When you're lifting weights at the gym, the burn you feel in your muscles isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that you're getting stronger. The same applies to everything else in your life. When something feels hard, when you're struggling, when you want to quit, that's not a problem to avoid. It's the signal that you're leveling up, and that's exactly what we're looking for. To give you another example, most people tend to avoid the things they fear. But I've noticed something pretty funny among pretty much all successful people. They feel just as much fear, doubt, and confusion as anyone else. Yet, they embrace it and act anyway, because that's how you get shit done. If you wait until you feel great, you're never gonna do anything, let's face it. Most people label challenges as suffering. They see difficulty and they immediately think, this is too hard, this sucks, I hate this. You want to stop doing that. Start seeing challenges as training. They're preparing you for an awesome future. Every hard conversation you have to have, every uncomfortable task you need to complete, every scary decision you need to make, that's all just training. You're training yourself to become the person who can handle bigger and bigger challenges. Here's a question I want you to start asking yourself. What if this is supposed to feel hard when I'm leveling up? When you reframe difficulty this way, everything changes. Because suddenly, you're no longer a victim of circumstances anymore. You're a player in a game, and the difficulty is increasing just because you're ready for the next level. Think about this for a sec. If you were playing a video game and every single level was just as easy as the level before, what would be the point? You would get bored extremely quickly, and that game would have very shitty ratings. So in life, it's the same. With each new level will come new challenges, you have to accept it. I've seen some people, they were so afraid of pain. They were trying to spend their entire lives completely avoiding pain. They were completely delusional. Because you can't always avoid pain. Instead, you need to choose what you're willing to suffer for. Everything is painful. Being broke is painful. Being rich is painful. At least getting rich is painful. So choose your fucking suffering. Now, something that you're probably not going to want to admit is that you're too addicted to comfort. And I mean, it's not really your fault. Because you're just human after all. Your brain is literally designed to keep you safe, which in caveman times meant staying in the cave where the saber-toothed tigers couldn't get you. But in modern times, that same mechanism just makes you lazy and prevents you from making your dreams come true, tapping into your fullest potential. Your brain will do everything it can to keep you comfortable, to keep you doing what you've always done, to keep you safe. But safe doesn't make you rich. Safe doesn't make you successful. Safe only keeps you exactly where you are, in this situation you hate and want to get rid of. Here's the truth. Comfort now equals pain later most of the time, while discomfort now equals freedom later. There's a quote I love, it goes, hard choices, easy life, easy choices, hard life. I grew up in the low middle class. My father was a nurse and my mother a nursing assistant. Very early on I realized I needed to get rich so I could improve the quality of our life. Because who else was going to do it for us? No one. Every time you choose the comfortable option, sleeping in instead of waking up early, scrolling through social media instead of working on your business, avoiding that difficult conversation, you're choosing short-term comfort at the cost of long-term pain. But when you choose discomfort now, when you do the hard thing, when you push through the resistance, you're buying freedom for your future self. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you have to become a robot and never do anything fun and spend your entire life grinding instead. Because let's be honest, that wouldn't be a life, that'd be a prison. However, when you're like me and you come from nothing, it's gonna take a lot of effort and sacrifice to climb all the way to the top. If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. A lesson I learned early on in life is that no matter what you choose to do, either way you will feel pain. Now, some people freak out when they realize that, while others feel freed. So what's the difference between these two kinds of people, you may ask? How come the same thing can be so limiting for some and at the same time so liberating for others? That's pretty funny, isn't it? Well, it all depends on the perspective you choose to adopt. I realized that since I was going to feel pain, no matter which path I chose, I may as well choose to feel pain for an outcome that's actually worth it. Being poor sucks and is extremely painful. If you are, you would know. Or if you were, you still know how it was. It's painful not being able to propose to your fiancé because you can't even afford the fucking ring while you see all your friends getting married. It's painful to be constantly overworked, burnt out, exhausted, but you can't afford to go on a holiday. It's painful to wake up every day older, grayer, and yet nothing has changed at all. Just like it's painful to force yourself to get out of bed at 5 a.m. sharp every single morning, weekends included, so you can work on your business before your day job to reclaim the freedom that was stolen from you. So what are you going to choose? How do you break this addiction to comfort? You train yourself using what I call micro discomforts daily. You take cold showers, you work out even when you don't feel like it, you fast for a day maybe, you say no to things you want but don't need right now. These small acts of voluntary discomfort train your brain to stop freaking out every time something feels hard. That's when you can tap into insane productivity. You're literally rewiring your nervous system to be comfortable with discomfort. You'll get ahead of 99% of people easily if you can do that. The third step is to kill the future fantasy. This is where most people fuck themselves over. They think about the entire journey ahead of them and it feels impossible. They think, I need to make $10,000 a month, which means I need to build an audience, create a product, learn marketing, ads, set up funnels, and their brain just shuts down. It's way too much. The mountain seems so big, so they can't possibly climb it. Stop doing that. Overthinking the entire journey only makes it feel impossible. Instead, focus on the next rep, the next page, the next call. Shrink the mountain into a single step. That's exactly what aspiring Navy SEALs do when they have to go through Hell Week. It's an intense training week that will make or break them. What's the one thing you can do right now, today, in the next hour? Do that. Then do the next thing, then the next. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. And if you do that, it won't be long before you look back in shock at how much you've achieved. I used to paralyze myself, thinking about everything I needed to do to build my business. But when I stopped looking at the whole mountain and just focused on the next tasks in front of me, everything became manageable. I did one sales call, one piece of content at a time, one email, that's it. All those single steps compound into massive results over time as you repeat them. Always remember this. It's the small things that make up the big things. Everything that ends up big started up small. Here's where the magic happens for real. The identity shift. When you stop saying, this is hard for me, you stop identifying as somebody who struggles, and you start saying, this is who I am. I go to the gym because that's who I am. Hard things become easy when they're tied to your identity. When you identify as somebody who always shows up, showing up stops being a decision and it becomes automatic. And on the outside, you look very disciplined, but it's easy for you because it's a part of who you are. When you see yourself as someone who does hard things stop feeling hard because they're you. So for example, instead of saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, just tell yourself, I'm the kind of person who always shows up no matter what. Instead of, oh, I need to work on my business today, say, I'm a business owner. That's just what I do. Now, that can seem like a small shift, but it's actually everything. Because when something is part of your identity, you don't negotiate with it. You just fucking do it. It's like brushing your teeth. If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. Step 5 is learning to use pain as fuel. Most people try to avoid pain at any cost, but here's what I learned. Don't avoid pain. Instead, weaponize it. Link the cost of not changing to something that hurts you more than doing the work itself. For example, when I was broke and miserable, I used that pain. I thought about where I'd be in 5 years if I didn't change. Still broke, still miserable, still out of shape, probably worse. And that scared me more than doing the hard work required to change. Like genuinely, go look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, if I stay the same, I keep doing the same things I've always been doing, my life will be 10 times harder in 5 years. Really feel that, really sit with that pain. Because when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, only then you will finally take action. And you won't stop until you get what you want. But usually, people don't take action when they're too comfortable. Now, I'd like to share with you my secret weapon for unlimited confidence. You need to stack small victories daily because confidence compounds. Every time you do something hard and you survive, you prove to your brain that you can do hard things. And the more evidence you collect, the more your brain starts to believe, okay, we can actually handle this. For years, I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. sharp every day and work all day pretty much, and I tried every possible approach to get there, believe me. I tried changing everything in my life overnight, and unsurprisingly, that never worked. But when I took things slow and changed one little thing at a time, I ended up seeing much quicker progress than when I was trying to go from nothing to everything literally overnight. The real lesson here is that sometimes being patient will actually accelerate your progress. So start small, make your bed every morning, that's a huge win. Go to the gym even when you don't feel like it, that's a big win too. Have that uncomfortable conversation you've been avoiding, that's a win. And all of these wins stack up. And then what happens is hard things become normal for you. Then normal becomes easy, then easy becomes automatic. That's the progression. But it always starts with collecting evidence that you are capable of doing it. Now, to make this even easier, here are some mindset anchors you need to lock in. First, present over perfection. What I mean is you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be 1% better every day. That's it. 1% better compounds into a massive transformation over time. Second, gratitude. You want to focus on opportunities and not struggles. Yes, it's difficult, but you have the opportunity to change your life. Most people never even try. The third thing is discipline doesn't equal force. It's not about white-knuckling your way through life. It's belief plus repetition. When you believe in what you're doing and you repeat it enough times, it becomes automatic. Look, your mind isn't broken, it's just untrained. Because you've spent years training it to seek comfort, to avoid difficulty, to take the easy path. And it's also human nature to go the path of least resistance. Now you need to retrain your mind. And the harder you train it, the easier it feels. Because here's the final truth I want you to understand. Hard things don't get easier. You just get stronger. When you go to the gym, the weight doesn't get lighter, does it? No. Instead, you get stronger. The challenges don't just disappear. You just become more capable of handling them. And when you understand this, you stop waiting for life to get easier because it won't, and you start focusing on becoming stronger because that is the only thing you actually control. If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast.